It's not just about in-your-face sales and hey, here's a promo, here's this. It's more an equal mix of that, but also education. And not just education on what we offer, education on anything that can help you lead a healthier life and extend your health span.
Yeah.
The heat shock proteins that get activated when you're in the sauna, they literally go in and attack the cells that are in your DNA. If there's anything wrong with them, they basically go in there and fix them. They go into your mitochondria and basically energize them.
Okay.
So they can function better and because they are the energy production like nucleus of every cell.
In this episode of Estates, Entrepreneurs, and Espressos, I interview Christian Vemb. He actually sold a company called Pulp and Press and is now in the longevity business. So I do sauna, I love cold plunging, and this is a guy who keeps things dialed. Not only that, he's a business owner who is starting another business from the ground up after building and scaling another one. We're gonna talk to him about the inception of the idea, how he thinks about business, growth, partnerships, coming up with an idea, executing it, and obviously we're gonna talk about longevity. Christian has been a long-term friend of the Prime family, so I'm really excited for this episode. If you haven't seen any of the other ones, check out the ones with Matt Leonetti, Mark Salerno. There are so many other killers that have been on this show. If you know any entrepreneurs or real estate agents that you think would be killer to interview, let me know and make sure you hit like, subscribe, or leave a review. We do a draw every month for the Prime Nation and are so excited to make you part of it. Now let's go inside and see Christian. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, how's it going, Justin?
Good. Nice to see you. So we're gonna get you mic'd up here, and then you're gonna walk me through this building because it didn't look like this a couple months ago.
It did not. No, it was a mess in here. It was a mess in here until about 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
And it all came together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pushed through some adversity too with time frames, permits, all that crazy stuff that happens
with city, with engineers, with the electrical inspectors.
Yeah.
It pushed us back a bit.
So what's the concept before we get into the actual tour?
So the idea of Longevity Lounge is some different modalities that are going to help people live longer, essentially. We have sauna, traditional sauna, cold tub immersion, and red light therapy.
Interesting. And this would be the lobby section.
This is the lobby here. Yeah, this is the reception.
Awesome.
We wanted a space in case people wanted to relax after their session.
Yeah. Exposure is really nice too. Having all of that natural light coming in right on the corner.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's there's gonna be a lot of sun coming in here.
Wow.
In the afternoons, but it's nice.
From a location perspective, why here?
Why here? I think to be quite honest, this seems to be the demographic. This neck of the woods seems to be the demographic that are gonna be most interested in stuff like this.
Yeah, and that's probably super important for you too to look at where you're going to be closest to your actual customers, right?
Absolutely. But even in this same plaza, we have Oxygen Yoga and Fitness right across the way. I believe there's going to be a Pilates studio as well.
NVS Streetwear. I didn't even know that was there. That's interesting. Neighborhood, spring flowers.
Yes. I was told, my girlfriend told me, she said, I better not catch you in there too often because it's all like one-off shoes.
Okay.
It's all a wall of Nikes.
Interesting.
And they all look like they're like one-offs.
Custom. I literally saw it. I'm probably going to go in there at some point and take a look at it. And it's interesting, like proximity does matter. I know when we were doing the location search and we came up with this idea because we looked at Old South, we looked at a bunch of different stuff. I think for the format of what you're doing is a great case study of what's the demand for something like this in the marketplace. I think the exposure to all the dental center right there, the demographic going in there is they know what this stuff is, where 10 years ago nobody knew what cold plunging or red light therapy was, right?
100%, yeah.
How are you educating people about the launch? Because you guys are in like a soft open right now, right?
Yeah, so we've been pumping some stuff out on social media.
Yeah.
We did some stuff about a soft launch last week.
Yeah.
Just because we had some services available and we didn't want to not open just because rooms weren't fully open.
Sure.
So we pushed out some posts that just let people know that most of the services are open.
Yeah.
And they could call directly until things were kind of open on the online gateway for payments and whatnot.
Sure.
Which has all been taken care of now. So now we're fully, there's a post going out later on that's going to let people know that we're fully open and come on in.
So they would come in here. Are they doing like per service? Is there a membership? Like what are the options for them to do something like
Yeah,
this?
so single service, packs of 5, packs of 10.
Cool.
We're trying to wrap our head around the membership concept because it's not like a gym where, you know, we have tons of space. You could be in there for 12 hours if you want.
Sure.
So if someone were to come in and have a membership,
And they're here all day.
or they're coming like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure something out. But for now, just like by session and packages.
What is the prescription for cold plunging and say sauna, like hot and cold therapy? Leave the red light out for now. How many times a day should you be doing it?
So I think ideally the science is about 11 minutes per week in the cold tub.
Okay.
56 minutes in the sauna, broken up into 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So this is going to look like 2 or 3 minutes per session in the tub and 15, 20 minutes in the sauna.
Yeah. And typically, we've talked about this too, like the sauna that I have at my house, I'll turn it on in the morning, sauna in the morning, cold shower, and then workout. I've heard too, people are starting to do cold therapy before working out, almost as like a pre-workout, which is blowing my mind.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to, say you're looking to bulk up at all, what you don't want is to go in the tub right away after a workout, because that's going to basically cut off the body's natural inflammation system, which is going to help.
Makes you feel better, but you're not growing.
Makes you feel better,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
But in terms of anything endurance-wise, strength-wise,
Sure.
get in there as soon as possible. It's gonna help get rid of the inflammation. Also amazing for pain relief and circulation. So you're getting oxygen to where it needs to be faster.
When I got into it, it's because I needed the hip resurfacing that I ended up getting. That was such a major part of it. I know you had an injury as well. We're getting older, right? So you got to think about longevity.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think changing the way that you do things now could actually impact your life in 30, 40 years, right? Like doing stuff like this early.
100%, especially when it comes to disease prevention.
Yeah.
The heat shock proteins that get activated when you're in the sauna, they literally go in and attack the cells that are in your DNA. If there's anything wrong with them, they basically go in there and fix them.
Interesting.
And this is, you're talking cancer, heart disease, dementia, Alzheimer's and whatnot. Like there's like 50% to 60% reduction in these diseases when doing regular sauna and cold therapy.
And then that's just getting your body temperature up to that place. It signals to your body to kick off those proteins.
100%.
Huh.
Yeah.
I do think exposure to anything in life, like business-wise, physically, mentally, you always end up with a more resilient product at the end of the day, right?
100%.
Which is the whole premise.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, walk me through the design and kind of what you built here.
Yeah. Come on in. So this is what all of our sauna, cold tub, shower rooms are going to look like. This is a 5-person traditional sauna.
Oh, it's awesome. It's huge.
It is big.
Mine is like this big. And I can't stand up completely in it.
Okay.
I need an upgrade. Well, I guess I don't need an upgrade now because my office is right there.
Hey, there you exactly.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, so people will have 1 to 3 people could have this room for 50 minutes privately. So once the doors close, they don't get bothered until they leave. And they're, if they need guidance.
Is this infrared or is it?
This is traditional.
Traditional. My wife wants a traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if customers or guests want guidance, we can give it to them. But if you're experienced, you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
These are the units. It's nice.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. Are these commercial or are these residential?
These are commercials. Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks different than that kind of tub that they have that they're selling.
Yeah,
right?
and these ones don't have the chiller on the side. They're built right in.
They're built right in. It's slick the way they built it. And what temperature roughly does it stay at?
4 degrees Celsius.
4 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
It's funny because when I started cold plunging, I remember I talked to you about this. First, I couldn't do a cold shower, and it was like small exposure to like turn it cold, stay in as long as I can, get out. But it was really fast actually. It only took me like 2 to 3 weeks, and all of a sudden I could stay 3 minutes in a freezing cold shower, no problem. And then I graduated to the tub. And initially, before I did the cold showers, I tried to do the tub. I literally thought I was gonna die. Like my legs were just cramping and locking up, and I'm like, I got out, right? Because my body was in a state of shock. When I went back after I did the shower exposure, I was fine. Now I only did, I think, my first cold plunge for like 30 to 60 seconds. But it took me, again, 2-3 weeks, and all of a sudden I was doing 3 minutes, no problem, right? So
it's crazy how fast your body builds the resilience to the stress, which also can parlay into other areas of your life to kind of help you be able to handle that stress a bit better.
Sure. So like somebody who's brand new, who's terrified that they're, gonna have a heart attack if they jump in the cold tub, how would you guide somebody into a treatment that gradually brings them into the space?
Well, absolutely. After they're out of the sauna, and once they are geared up and ready to get in, I would just have them go in kind of up to their knees.
Sure.
If that feels okay, kind of down on their knees so it's up their belly.
Yeah.
If that's okay, lean back. Yeah. Understanding there's going to be a gasp reflex.
Always.
But always to tell people to focus on the breathing, like in the nose, out the mouth. If you focus on that, I would say more than 50% of the fear and the stress of that cold water, the shock, goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you still get the mental negotiations that happen before you get in every time?
Every single time. Every single time.
I'm wondering when that's going to go away for me.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I say, I have on my watch, if I've been in there for 25 minutes, I say, okay, at 30 minutes, I'm going to go in here. And then I'm like, okay, 33, maybe 33 this time. And then once I'm ready, I'm ready. Just get right in there and go right up to the neck.
Yeah. Do you dunk your head at all?
I dunk my head sometimes.
Yeah.
Not every time. My normal protocol is like 20 in the summertime, 20 minutes in the sauna, 25 in the winter, but always 4 minutes in the tub.
That's a long time.
And I have one song that I've listened to 99% of the time, and it's 4 minutes long, and I can sing along to it. That helps too. So then,
distraction, right?
The distraction.
Do you wear your Apple Watch in the sauna and
Yes.
then in the tub?
Yeah.
No concern about your Apple Watch?
No concern, no. It's never an issue.
I didn't know that.
The phone,
Yeah.
which I don't like to have in there because I
Period.
can just leave it out and throw a podcast or music on. But no, I've never had an issue with the watch.
You can sync your phone to this?
Yeah, these are Bluetooth ready. Yeah, so you
that's
can pipe
super,
in. So
super cool.
people really love listening to podcasts when they're in there because then that kind of when it's 195 degrees, it's hot and your body's like there's actually things inside your body that are telling you to get out of the heat.
Yeah.
That's why you're sweating, and
And then the negotiation, it's funny, the negotiation for this happens before you get in. The negotiation for this happens after you've been in it for 10 minutes and you're like, that's enough, I gotta get out.
Yeah.
But your body's actually trying to get you out, right?
yes,
So
100%.
super interesting. All right, show me what else you got.
So this is this room is an exact mirror image.
Okay.
This one here.
Yeah.
Again, do you?
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. This is.
Oh,
this is the third hot cold room. We made it accessible in case there's anybody with challenges.
Yeah.
Smart. So we want to make sure we're
One
inclusive.
big open space.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
This one actually is a infrared
Is it?
and a traditional.
Okay.
However, you can't use them both at the same time.
You use one or the other.
One or the
right?
other. Yeah.
Interesting. I like the size. I like the materials they used inside it.
Yeah.
I wanted one that was big enough that I could actually stretch in. Because mine's. I asked the phone in the watch question because I'll bring my iPad into my sauna and write when I'm in my sauna.
Okay.
Because I write on my iPad,
Yeah.
but like it's gonna explode on me one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably need to not do that.
Well, I'm surprised it hasn't overheated.
Yeah, it does. So like I'll write for a good 15 minutes on it, and then the screen goes dark, and then I throw it outside of the sauna.
Yeah.
But it's an old one, so if it goes on me, it's not
Right.
a big deal.
Right. I don't know if you've heard of Ben Greenfield.
I have.
But he will actually do like a spin class.
Yeah.
And then kettlebell work in the sauna. I'm like, how?
He's a maniac too. Like
He's
but I have his book. I have Boundless Parenting. His cookbook's phenomenal
Yeah.
as well too.
Yeah.
He's got some great concepts too.
Always good material.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. It's been interesting to watch his journey too, because he was a human guinea pig for so long, and then got a little bit more structure. Peter T has gone through the same thing too, right?
100%.
Where he's grown up so much in the last little bit, and his last book, Outlive, was really good.
I believe he said he no longer is a proponent of the fasting.
No.
It's just too much of the muscle atrophy.
For sure.
I think was his concern.
And that he's very big on that right now,
Yeah.
right? So maintaining muscle over a long period of time and actually injury prevention. And I started paying attention to it. It makes a huge difference. Because I was intermittent fasting, I was eating super low carb, and then I realized that I started paying more attention to my macros, sleeping better, and trying to put on more muscle for my hip, and I feel a million times better.
Yeah, yeah. I watched recently a podcast that showed that this is something that women should be more careful about, like not worrying about getting slimmer and losing muscle.
Sure.
For all the same reasons, for longevity.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, and it's in his book when he explains it, it makes so much sense because you see people in their later age, they fall, they get hurt, and then they're bedridden, they lose another 30% muscle mass, and then they're frail, and then they die 6 months later.
And they can't get it back.
Yeah, for sure. It's so hard. It's even hard now. Like guys that are our age, we have to work hard. You have to make sure you're eating enough protein. You got to make sure you're sleeping enough. You're looking at supplementation and all that jazz too to keep yourself in a zone where you're seeing progression. It takes me probably 40% more effort to achieve the same result that I would have achieved 10 years ago, right?
Oh yeah. If we could just have our 20-year-old bodies back. Yeah.
But I still feel like I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 20 because I treated my body like an amusement park back then.
100%.
And I thought I'd be around forever. And 100%. I don't realize if I had started then where I'd be now, right? But
burning the candle on both ends.
Yeah, you don't sleep, your substances and everything else too that just, they take advantage of. But do you have the red light therapy going yet?
Red light therapy.
That's something I'm super curious about, even personally, because I've never done it.
Yeah, so this is one of the rooms here.
So what's the concept behind red light therapy?
This is a very simple room. You have basically just somewhere to sit and a red light panel. So you're getting both the near infrared.
Will we die if I turn this on?
Nope.
Could you turn it on just for the camera effect?
100%. Just don't look right at it.
Okay. Do you normally wear glasses?
Oops. No, you don't have to wear glasses. They come with them, but I mean.
I actually reading that somebody said it's good to get exposure on your eyes.
But I think different wavelengths, because I've heard that too.
Yeah. Kala. That's the company. Kala. Kyle Henry, who works for me, his wife, Ash. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's wild.
So.
That is intense.
So, yeah.
So I'm just going to stand here, close my eyes.
You stand there, close your eyes. So.
I'm getting smarter.
The funny thing is that all three of the treatments here, they basically do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of muscle recovery. The
it's warm.
Like collagen production for skin.
Yeah.
Like deep tissue injuries. Sleep's another big one.
So what does this help you with?
So basically what this does is they go into your mitochondria and basically energize them.
Okay.
So they can function better and because they are the energy production nucleus of every cell.
Interesting.
They are mainly for energy. So when these lights are on, that's why you can win. Like you're preventing injuries. You're helping your skin. Even like ligaments and those deep tissues that are hard to heal.
Yeah. Or hard to get into.
I believe one of the guys was an OHL player. He had a hip problem, and he was using this. And one of the other owners, it was a shoulder issue, and they've basically corrected it with this, which is really why they both started getting into it.
I actually have a belt that I used from a company called Brookstone, and it was infrared heat massage and had red light therapy on my hip, and it was the only thing prior to me getting my surgery that would allow me to get through the day. So I put it on in the morning, warm up for the daytime. It got everything kind of going, and it helped. I think it helped me get through a bunch more years with the hip that I had at the time.
100%.
Right? So cool.
100%.
Awesome. Let's go grab some coffee. Do you drink coffee?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you like cut the line? I was gonna say, do you have a time where you set no more caffeine?
100%.
Yeah.
I used to, even until recently, still have one. If it was 4 o'clock and there was a Starbucks, I'd get because they have the the shorts you can get.
Doppio, espresso, little tiny.
So, but lately, after reading more stuff, it's like after noon, 12 o'clock, it's going to affect your sleep.
100%.
Because of the half-life and whatnot. So, and to be honest, like sleep is like my most valuable currency right now.
Yeah.
You know, with 3 kids. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sleep and everything I can do to get more sleep and not disrupt my sleep. So, you know, the pitch black, as cold as possible. You
want to hear something insane I just heard? And it was sleep conditioning. So I don't know if this concept is legit at all.
Okay.
Do research on it. But the guy was saying, if you find yourself like restless at night, he said, go to bed. Like, he's like, force yourself to stay up till like midnight one night and then make yourself get up at 5.
Yep.
He's like, you'll be exhausted. And he's like, you're not allowed to take any naps through the day. Do it again and again. He said, after about 5 days, your body will realize that you only have that window to get rest. And he's like, it will shut you down faster.
Sure.
And then start moving your marker back a little bit.
Sure.
So he's like, I gotta find the video and send it to you. But it's fascinating because it makes sense, right? Like, you're inoculating your body to a new pattern, and as long as you stay constrained within that pattern, your body will adapt very quickly to, oh, okay, I've only got this much time, I'm not getting any more sleep. This is when I go into REM, and it's like instantaneously when he falls asleep. Now.
I would 100% subscribe to that. I've heard that from many different channels as well.
Yeah.
Also, the one that I've been adding in lately, especially this year, is sun. As soon as you can get the sun in your eyes first thing in the morning, and even throughout the day, but then again in the evening.
Interesting.
And it just sets your internal clock. Your body knows exactly when to release melatonin.
Interesting.
But it's also directly related to when you start seeing natural light.
Interesting.
In the mornings.
See, my challenge with that is I'm typically, like, my routine is at 5. So it's usually, by the time I'm actually going to outside, I'm on my way to work, right? Not during my actual normal health routine. Do they say, like, is there anything you can do to replace that? Is it red light therapy? Is that part of the reason? The sunshine or the light that you get outside? Probably not, right?
They're not, no. It's the natural light.
No sunglasses, no nothing.
No sunglasses, no sunglasses, and they say, about 10 or 15 minutes. You can get it when it's overcast. Yeah. You just need a bit longer. So, if it's 15 minutes when it's sunny out.
And you're not staring directly at the sun. You just need to be outside with your eyes open.
You just need to be out because these rays are bouncing all over the place. Yeah. That's it. That's why you can still get them when it's overcast, because they're still coming through and permeating the clouds and whatnot.
You're not staring at eclipses all day. Go left here. And then we're going to go, this is actually right at the bottom of Masonville. This is going to be interesting too. So they have plans for 3 towers here?
I do, and I assume that's why they're doing all this infrastructure underneath the roads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already built in. So the foundation of Masonville has, and you can pull B-roll, Nico, to include in the video, basically 2 rental towers and then 1 condominium tower.
Right.
We had consulted on it back in 2013 or 14.
Okay.
In terms of viability and whatnot too, and they weren't sure when they were going to do it. And actually, one London place downtown, there's another foundation for a second building downtown as well, right next to it. So you know where one London place is? To the left, there's that huge garden bed. Yep. That's actually a foundation for another building.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the same size, which is bonkers, right? Do you have a decaf Americano?
We're not doing the decaf.
Do you have?
We have normal Americano.
I'll do a normal Americano. Yeah. That's fine.
May I have a cappuccino?
Sure. Fantastic. Thank you. And what are things that you think, like from doing pulp and press to this, what do you think if you're advising a brand new entrepreneur that's launching a business, how would you tell them to go from like inception to idea? Like what are just some basic things that you would teach them?
Well, I think like obviously you start off with the proper concept, and then if you're confident with that concept, I mean, if it's your dream, I would say like follow your dream. But in terms of advice I would give, transparency from all people that you deal with, whether it's the contractors, suppliers, everything, just transparency along the process. Because I've found that I've I've run into some issues that I wish I had have been a part of the conversation along the way, because now I'm left, I'm second guessing some things that
Sure.
that now I can't go back and question because I wasn't part of the conversation.
Yeah. How do you, like when you're building relationships with people and working through that, how do you do that in a way that's taken in a positive light? Because I think sometimes people are scared, especially in Canada. Yeah, thank you. No, you're good.
So, it's a cappuccino.
Yes.
Your presentation's incredible.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I
Thank
hope
you.
you enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Sorry, say again.
So what I'm saying is Canadians can be super nice.
Yeah.
And they don't want to say anything to hurt anybody's feelings, but there's a line where like by not being transparent with somebody, you're actually making it harder for them to deliver you whatever you want delivered.
Yeah, and especially if you're sinking X amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars into something, you need to be firm when it calls for being firm.
Yeah.
That's happened many times, and I've always been someone that's just like, that's okay. Like, if you messed up or you didn't hit a deadline, I'm like, it's okay. But now, and again, this comes back to the transparency part. If I was part of that conversation, I could have been more hands-on and helped them create or find a solution
Right
to
away.
the problem they were seeing.
Yeah. It's interesting because you probably, like when you went through the pulp and press journey, from starting it to what it ended up becoming, there was probably similar pathways of, man, if I had just known this earlier, it would have saved me so much time too, right? But,
Yeah, especially the one thing, cash flow is something I learned. They say cash flow is king, and it's true. Because even if you think, say for example, you can get something, you can get 1,000 for this price, or you're going to get 50 for a higher price per unit. It's better to pay the higher price per unit in the beginning to save your cash flow, because you never know when you're going to need that for something else.
It's true.
So you don't want to be caught, red-handed, not having the cash flow you need to grow your business.
So how do you manage cash flow in a business like this? So when you're new, you're building a client base, like there's got to be a runway of you wanting to build a stable clientele and cash flow. So
Yeah, and I think it's simply that. So if I could buy, let's say filters for the one of the tubs, I could get 100 and they're $10 a piece, or I get 10 and they're $100 a piece. I'd prefer to save that cash flow, because I don't know what's in store for what I'm going to need for the next 3 to 6 months.
bills, marketing, everything else as well too.
Yeah. Marketing especially.
Well, and that's another conversation I want to have too, is you're launching a new brand, like you're creating something that has not existed before. And I think sometimes people can get caught up in the cycle of marketing and sales, because they're two different things. So how are you thinking about marketing Longevity Lounge? Like what is your action plan to go out and fill all the tubs, I guess, with people?
Yeah, so definitely a heavy presence on social media. But I think, like you were just saying, it's not just about in-your-face sales and, hey, here's a promo, here's this. It's more an equal mix of that, but also education. And not just education on what we offer, education on anything that can help you lead a healthier life and extend your health span.
Yeah. I think even an idea for you too, like remember the conversation we had in there where you talked about the gas reflex?
Yeah.
You doing a video of you speaking exactly like that to a reel would be one of the most effective pieces of content, right? Because like I can tell you most people are terrified of doing it because they're like, I just don't know how. And they almost want somebody to guide them through the process, right? But you can't be in there with them. Yeah. So it's almost like you need to use the content to educate them on how to do it.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned earlier, like some people are afraid they might have a heart attack when they get in there. And that's truly what I thought when I first got into it. I'm like, will I be able to handle this stress?
Sure.
But in my experience, everybody can. Your body is a incredible machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that too. Like even myself, because like especially age range, like being the age that we are, something I'm thinking about. I'm like, I don't want to end up in the hospital because I did something stupid and not be able to take care of my wife and daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
But every single time, it's simply the fight or flight response, right? That I always have to get over, and it is the breathing where I can focus on it, and I just shut out the noise, and the rest goes away. I find it's the same thing in business. Like anytime I've had a very difficult conversation or situation, not not dealing with it has never made it better, but actually just accepting the position that you're in and dealing with it always ends up in a better position, right?
100%. And allows you to be better later, especially in terms of how you handle the stress.
Yeah. I said something to the team this morning about pain. I said a lot of times people will delay pain for short-term gratification, but then give up their long-term goals because they've delayed the pain so far that they're never achieving it, right? It's like, I'm just gonna put this off, I'll start eating better tomorrow, I'll start sleeping better tomorrow, I'll do that cold plunge tomorrow. I'm like, now I've taken I'm doing like 1 or 2 a week, but I was doing every day, but we went away for 3 weeks. I have to get back into my routine.
Yeah.
And I know the more I delay it, the harder it's actually gonna be, right? So
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post a few weeks ago, and it was a guy talking about people having dreams. I want to ride my bike across the country, in 2025.
Yeah.
I want to do this with my kids. And he's like, time goes by too fast. He goes, it's now. You want to ride the bike across the country? It's now. You want to have like family dinners? It's now. You want to go back to school? It's now.
Yeah.
Because we are, we are already on the other side of, potentially, the other side of the lifetime.
I feel like we're gonna live to 100 plus just based on technology, and like you look at the age range already, it's getting to like 90s. Like hearing 88, 90, 103 is not shocking anymore. And I think especially if you look at hormone therapies, you look at, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with a P. Peptides. Science, technology, like not everything is legit. Like I've also heard there's tons of hormone clinics in the States where that's turned into a whole business, and like they're just giving anything to anybody, unconcerned. Like I see the Ozempic craze, and that scares the life out of me.
Oh man!
Because people are taking Ozempic as the shortcut rather than dealing with their habits, their diet, their sleep. Like fix the other things first, and then if you need TRT or Ozempic or whatever, maybe have a conversation. But to have that as your initial solution, I think Ozempic's one of the most dangerous things that our society's found in a long time.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
So scary. And it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And you can see it.
Yeah.
Like very clearly. And what's scary is I think people do it because they want the vanity of, I look amazing. And sure, you probably look amazing.
Yeah.
But publicly, maybe you don't, because the people that know that you're on it now are like, oh yeah, you look good, but you're taking the shortcut, right?
Yeah.
So
And they also they do not feel good.
Yeah.
Well, 100%.
And I've heard muscle loss, right?
Good.
Like I've heard a massive amount of muscle loss, potential bone issues, and major things like that too, right?
Yep. And I would assume there's some sleep deprivation in there. When you start messing with what your body's natural hormones and whatnot, there's got to be some sleep issues along.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I'm not sure if you got it on camera or not, but we were talking about how important muscle maintenance is in longevity, right? And I think Longevity Lounge, the episode, what we're talking about, I want a long career, I want to sell a lot of real estate, I want to build cool businesses and do fun things, but you can't do any of that if your health isn't in a good place, right, to start with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now that you're open, what's next? Like, you're clearly not somebody that sits still for a very long time.
No. So I've already been jumping the gun and already thinking about other locations, and I have to keep telling myself, one step at a time. But as soon as this concept is tested and proven, I would want to have at least 2 more in London, and then from there branch out to Kitchener, Waterloo. Probably not downtown proper, but Mississauga, Oakville, Scarborough, Woodbridge, Vaughan, Barrie.
Where the need is, right?
Work my way down to hometown in Kingston.
I didn't know you're from Kingston. I've known you for, it's got to be, over a decade now that I've known you, probably.
Well, probably because I spent a lot of time in Toronto. I spent like 20 years in Toronto. 15 years before I came here. But I mean, like the big dream is national brand, and I think striking while the iron's hot. I think it's going to be hot for a while, but I'm not going to be the only one who's going to be thinking about this concept.
I think integrity, energy, and intelligence, as you've scaled other brands, I think one of the keys is going to be partnerships. Aligning yourself with people that are doing the same thing in different spaces. Alan Peo at Remedy Chiropractic, I saw him the other day. He's like, I got to go check it out. Like, because the trickle effect of getting the recommendation is more powerful than any 50% off sale that you could possibly do online, right?
that word of mouth is priceless.
Yeah. Big shout out to this cafe. It's packed and the experience is fantastic. I think the presentation, it's interesting. We totally just showed up here and the manager was a sweetheart to deal with. So if you own a business and somebody offers to do something like this for you for free, I'd recommend you do it because we've got a reach of close to 10 million people across all of our digital platforms and it's free, it doesn't cost you a dime. But I also think I now know that this is a place I can send my clients because they care. Like the amount of care that you can see is put in the plates that we've been given, the coffees, the presentation of their products, I think speaks to why Christian and I like doing business, right? Is you're doing your business, I do what I do in my business, but it's a sense of purpose. You want to work hard and you want to build something, right? Which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we built a good relationship.
Yeah.
It's been, I was thinking earlier today, I think it's been about 10 years.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, just about 10 years. Yeah.
10 years ago, who were you and what were you doing?
Ooh, so 10 years ago, so we had just moved to London. My job was not transferable. My partner's was. She worked for RBC.
What was your job?
I was a trainer in Toronto for 10 years. Moved here, so I was forced to, start drumming up business that way. Boot camps. But shortly after that,
did you run your own thing, or did you work at a gym?
No, I was doing outdoor boot camps.
Amazing. So you were an entrepreneur even at that stage of your career?
Zero entrepreneurial skills.
Wow. Okay.
So I was forced into it, and thank God I was. So I started working with a business coach in Toronto, and we were brainstorming about some other things that I really enjoyed. I was passionate about, and juicing came to the top of my mind. We had done it for many years in Toronto. Went to a lot of places in Toronto that that offered really good product. So we started looking at some other people doing it around the world, and quickly started making my own recipes. Formulated, maybe about 9 different flavors. Started leveraging my contact base in Toronto. I would 1 week deliver cleanses, make it in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
Pack it all up, go to Toronto 1 week, you go down there for the day, drop them off, come back, make more, go down 2 days later, drop off the second portion of the order.
Amazing.
And then the week after, I was trying to promote in London, so I was kind of back and forth. It was growing, but not super fast. Took on a partner, and a year later, we formulated Pulp and Press, which is now, it's now a North American brand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everywhere. Sobeys carries it, and tons of national.
Sobeys, Farm Boy, Metro, Loblaws, door-to-door, coast-to-coast delivery.
Yeah, that's wild.
Costco's now.
Online or retail sales more? Tough?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I think it was fairly equal.
It's funny because before it'd be like 90-10, it wouldn't even be close. But
Yeah.
now you look at the world of online. And I think that I also like that about your new business model is it is an in-person thing. It's grassroots, but the model's scalable. But I like that there's a human component to it versus everything is online, right?
And that's, I place a huge amount of emphasis and priority on customer service because that's what I like.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like I've been missing for 2 years is the, direct contact with humans.
For sure.
No Zoom, no phone calls. In person, I want to greet them. I want to walk them out. I want to be the one showing them how to use everything.
Yeah.
Because those relationships are priceless.
It's everything in our business too. So many people hide from the phone, and they hide behind social and email and stuff like that. They won't just pick up the phone. How many times have we're working on something, we just pick up the phone, talk in 5 minutes. We get so much more done, but in person, even more. Energy begets energy. We start talking about ideas, and you should do this, and you should do that, and in 5 minutes, you get more context than you can even get on the phone, right?
100%. And a 1 hour texting conversation can literally be done in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
More production.
Yeah. It's funny, I do still do prime people virtual just because of where we're located. There's so many people I want to talk to that are just not here, and I can't leave all the time.
Right.
My favorite episodes I do though are these, and then the masterminds.
Right.
Where we fill a house with 80 people and just sit down and hang, do a podcast, break bread, talk shop. And it's cool because the connections that happen within the ecosystem that I may not even be a part of their success, it's fun to watch because then if they're winning, we're all winning, right? And then it all comes full circle eventually. So.
Oh, well, the one you did at Toboggan was like
fun.
I loved it so much,
Yeah.
and like you said, like the connections were happening like instantly. Instantly.
It's hard to curate sometimes because, like, for example, the last one I did, I'm always cautious of this, but I tell people when I'm doing the mastermind, like, this isn't a pitch fest. Don't walk around and ask people for their phone numbers and emails and then try and sell them something next week, because I'm not going to.
No.
And this is a safe space. There's high-level people here that are doing all kinds of stuff and people that are brand new, entry level. And the last one I did, 3 weeks later, somebody came in, tried to recruit one of my team members, and I was like, you're off the list, unfortunately. More so just because it's just a space we want to protect. I want people to feel safe as well. That, like, if you meet somebody there, that they're gonna feel like Christian's cool because he's in this room, right? And nobody's pitching, nobody's selling. It's just actual collaboration, right?
Right.
So,
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's uncomfortable.
it's real,
Yeah.
not really. Like, real estate is rife with that. So
I suppose.
and even from a brokerage level, we don't recruit. We are not that business
Right.
model. Like, we attract more than we recruit.
Right.
But I'll have brokers that'll, like, flat out, that's their business. And they'll
Right.
be tongue in cheek about it, and I know it is, and that doesn't bother me.
Right.
But it's more when you have, like, a protected group or protected space of people.
Right.
That's a different thing altogether. We're, like, protecting the integrity of the names on that guest list. I want you to feel good that you can talk to Nico and Jam. You can meet Alan Peo or Alan Patton, anybody else that are at my events, and be like, they're coming with some sort of cosign that they're part of our community, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There was one gentleman. He was from was he from Calgary? They were running that project where they were. It was in Kelowna.
Oh yeah. Millennium Group.
Yes. And we connected, and there was no talk about anything that was going on at that event.
Yeah.
It was about like a personal connection
awesome.
and what we were both interested in, and then that's where the conversation surrounded.
Did you keep in touch with them?
We're on social media and whatnot.
Awesome.
I wanted to be part of that opportunity, but it just wasn't the right time. But I know who to reach out to when and if I'm ready.
Kelowna's really cool too. If
Yeah.
you look at, like, the dynamics of outdoors town, and, like, Longevity Lounge would probably kill in that town as well, right?
Oh boy, yeah, 100%.
So if you didn't realize that exposing yourself to discomfort was an important thing, now you do. Hopefully you got some value from that episode. I definitely did. It was great to hear Christian's story from starting from grassroots as an entrepreneur who knew nothing to what he's built today. And once he goes national, it's going to be fun to go back to this episode and listen to some of the gems he dropped. As always, make sure you hit subscribe and leave a review for the show so that you get entered into the draw that we do on a monthly basis. Let us know if you have any amazing guests that you'd love to see on this show. There are 3 versions of Prime People. They are all available on my YouTube channel. Search Justin Konikow, that's Konikow, or find us on any streaming audio podcast platform under Prime People, and we'll see you on the next one.